So in this video, I wanted to share some of my healthy eating habits and routines. These are definitely areas of my life that I'm very intentional about. I spent many years doing nutrition coaching and group fitness training and personal training, so this is definitely something I love talking about. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing my grocery haul with you all, share some of the things that I purchase every week on a regular basis. I'm also going to be sharing the various supplements that I take every day. I know that's like a question that I would often get when I was coaching in the space, was what type of supplements to take, and I'll share my own thoughts on supplementation in general. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so in total, I spent about $45 for all of this food. For this week, we have frozen blueberries, frozen mangoes. We have bananas. I like to make smoothies during the week on most days, and I try to rotate the variety of fruits that I eat. I am working on a smoothie recipe book that I hopefully will get done by the end of the month. So we also have pasture-raised eggs. We've got cucumbers, some grape tomatoes, and ground beef. I want to make burger salads for lunch. It is so freaking good. So I have 2 huge bunches of spinach and almond milk for coffee. My meat for this week is ground beef. So I have been actively trying to reduce my meat consumption. I grew up in a Kerala Christian Malayali household, and so people from Kerala, we do eat meat unlike the rest of most of India. And so I grew up in a household where we ate meat like 3 times a day. I mean, at the very least twice a day, but a lot of days I would eat meat 3 times a day. And now as an adult, I have been trying to reduce my meat consumption and my reliance on meat for health purposes, for environment purposes. And so what I do with my meats is I rotate the meats that I'm eating. So week 1, I will buy chicken. Week 2, I'll buy beef. Week 3, I'll buy fish. And week 4, I'll buy tofu or, some other kind of meat alternative. And that helps ensure that I'm getting a variety of different types of meats and animal products into my diet. I started doing this rotation thing mainly because I realized I wasn't eating fish enough. And I was probably eating fish like once every 3 months because that's how often I would remember to buy fish. And so, ever since I've been making it a point to rotate my meats or rotate my protein sources, I've been eating fish more regularly. I mean, 1 time a month still isn't as ideal, but when I buy fish, I'm eating it for like 4 or 5 days of that week, if that makes sense. So it's better, but it's probably not as ideal. And I'm going to talk about fish when I discuss supplements in a bit. So I know my groceries don't look like a whole lot. This week I spent $45, which is typically what I spend. I usually spend anywhere between $40 to $45. Sometimes it's even as low as $35. And I think over the years, as I've really worked to improve my eating habits, eat more whole, minimally processed foods, I have noticed the significant impact on my grocery bill. So I'm going to link a video that I created a few weeks ago in the show notes, sharing a little bit more about how I've been able to cut down on my grocery bill quite a bit. So this week, I know it didn't look like a lot, but I also just have a lot of stuff in my pantry. So things like grains, pastas, rice, I have a bunch of, and I have a handful of frozen vegetables still in my freezer. So I'm going to try to use up those first. So I always try to consider those things when I'm buying my groceries for the week. And I eat most of my meals at home. I typically eat out at restaurants about 2-ish times a week, but the rest of my meals are just home cooked meals, and that has been such a game changer for not only my health, my energy levels, but also in terms of saving money as well. When I was doing nutrition coaching, this was one of the most commonly asked questions is, what types of supplements should I take? I have some very strong thoughts about supplementation. I know I've rambled about this in previous videos, podcasts, and things like that, but the supplementation industry is highly unregulated. There is so much marketing jargon and marketing buzz that's just honestly a load of crap. we are all going to benefit a lot more by taking a food first approach at supplementation. So that means filling your nutrient gaps with actual foods. So, for example, magnesium is a nutrient that Americans are notorious for being deficient in or having low levels of. And so, what I do is every single day, as part of my snack routine, I have a handful of pumpkin seeds and some dark chocolate. And I also eat avocado pretty regularly during the week. And those three sources of food alone are really great sources of magnesium. And taking a food first approach also means that your body gets the benefit. Hi, you can come. Yeah, I'm in the middle of videoing though.
Okay.
That's okay. And when you take a food first approach at filling your nutrients, your body also gets the benefit of like the synergies associated with combining different foods together. So for example, eating spinach is going to be, your body is going to have better absorption of the nutrients from spinach when it's combined with other food sources that have other nutrients. So that's kind of my thought on supplementation as a whole. I think that the best way to determine if you really need supplements is to have lab tests done to determine if you have some deficiencies in a particular nutrient. And if you're not able to fill those specific nutrient gaps with food, then I think it makes sense to resort to supplementation. So for me, the main supplements that I take are protein powder. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna say it's part of my supplement routine. I also take collagen, creatine, and ashwagandha. So with the collagen, I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I am such a sucker for anything that will potentially give me good hair, skin, nails, and things like that. And for a long time, several years ago, collagen was kind of trending in the wellness industry as something that would improve the elasticity and quality of your skin. I think since then, there really hasn't been any literature out there that is conclusive on whether collagen supplementation specifically has a direct positive impact on the elasticity of your skin. I am willing to continue taking it in the off chance that it does improve it. I figured it's harmless to continue taking because I've already gotten into the habit and pattern of adding it to my coffee every morning. It's also flavorless and odorless, so it doesn't make a difference to, again, the taste of my coffee. I take creatine daily also. Creatine is one of the most researched and safe supplements out there to improve strength and performance for athletes. So there's also a lot of studies that show there's also some cognitive benefits, long-term, memory and brain functioning and things like that. So I think this is a really great supplement to incorporate into your daily routine. I take about 1 scoop, which is usually like 3 to 5 grams. I add it to my coffee. Again, also it's flavorless, it's odorless, so it doesn't change the taste of my coffee, which is really nice. There's a lot of misconceptions about creatine. So a couple of them off the top of my head. Yes, women can take it. No, you are not going to bulk up if you take creatine. You don't really need a quote loading phase. You can just start taking it regularly every single day. Maybe if you're experiencing some digestive type issues, maybe it's wise to pull back a little, maybe ease your way into it, take it every other day, see and monitor how your body feels. I personally haven't had any digestive issues, but I have had clients in the past notice some changes in digestive patterns once they started taking creatine. So that's just something to be aware of. And also you can and should take it on non-training days as well. So again, this is just something I take every single day, irrespective of whether I'm working out or not. And the last supplement that I take is ashwagandha. I really love ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is known to be, part of ancient Ayurvedic medicine and history. It is an herb that is known to be able to reduce anxiety, reduce stress, improve brain functioning, improve sleep. For me, the biggest area that I've noticed a difference in is how it's improved my sleep. For the longest time, especially before COVID, for like 4 or 5 years, I struggled quite a bit with sleep quality issues. I think it got better once COVID started, just because at that point became completely remote, and so I didn't have all the stressors in the morning of like waking up super early, having to catch the bus, having to get on the train, and so I think that eased a lot of the sleep anxiety that I was having. So once I started taking ashwagandha, I noticed a pretty drastic improvement in the overall quality of my sleep. I noticed I was waking up less during the middle of the night, which was one of the biggest issues I had before, was that I would wake up in the middle of the night and then I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. So I noticed that the ashwagandha was helping me sleep longer, and I was just waking up feeling a lot more rested. So I'm a big fan of ashwagandha. The one that I take is from this company called Further Food. And this one is good because it has black pepper and avocado oil, which is supposed to help with just better absorption. So overall, that is my supplementation routine. I am toying with the idea of possibly taking a fish oil because, like I mentioned earlier when I was sharing my grocery haul, I don't eat fish as often as it's recommended. And so I think taking a quality fish oil could help. I am going to go for my annual checkup pretty soon, so I want to talk to my doctor about possibly doing some lab testing and get his thoughts on fish oil and some recommendations for a good quality fish oil as well. Other than that, there's so many variables to our health. There's not a single food or supplement out there that's going to shift the way our overall health is. It's a combination of, your overall eating patterns, your overall diet, your lifestyle, your stress, even, the things that you consume in your mind. And so some other things that I do outside trying to eat a really nutrient dense diet is maintaining exercise. So I think one of the biggest myths out there is that you have to kill yourself at the gym 6-7 times a week. And that's just not true. My training routine is that I work out about 3 times a week. I do lifting sessions 3 times a week. And then on the other days, I just walk. Walking is an excellent form of cardio. It's an excellent form of exercise. So I usually try to get about 10,000 steps a day. And then during the weekends, occasionally I do go work out, but I treat anything that I do on the weekends as bonus, and I use more as like a socializing activity. So for example, going to a workout class on Saturday with my boyfriend or meeting up with friends on Sunday morning for run club. Those aren't part of my regular routines, but I'm always down to partake as a means of like spending quality time with the people in my life. That is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know what you think in the comments. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next video.